Hello, tubers. How are you doing today? Well, I hope you're doing real well, praying the rosary, getting closer to God, and following His ways because His ways are the best ways. Today being Monday in the morning, I've gotten two calls or two messages from clients of mine, clients that have been doing well for a very long time, over 10 years, making quite a bit of money. So if you had to classify them, they would be in the upper middle class. Now with the COVID thing going on, it's really put them in a distressed level.
All right, you have to learn to pray. You learn to pray in the same way. Lord, teach us to pray. You should have a definite time and place every day to pray. You have an appointment, you have an interview with Almighty God.
The one client just told me that his revenues went down 90%. 90%, that's quite a bit. And the other one is not making anything, or very close to nothing. And these, like I said, these people used to making lots of money. Money was not an issue with these people. Now it has become an issue. So these people are really feeling it, really feeling the decay of the economy. And I'm their accountant, and I'm trying to mitigate circumstances to help them along. And I understand that people, the regular people, the middle class, maybe the lower middle class, they're suffering. However, when you're poor or relatively poor, the fall from the second floor is not that bad. But when you're on the 45th floor, that fall is going to hurt. And, so that's how I kind of look at it. I mean, poor people, for the most part, know how to make it work. Now, the worst thing that can happen with the poor people is that they can't pay their rent or they can't pay their mortgage. They may get kicked out of the house or their home. However, I have a feeling that the government is going to do something. Government's going to try to help them out one way or the other, because there's a lot of poor people, or a lot of people that are low income or middle class. And the politicians, well, they like their position. They like being governors and representatives. So they're not going to want to lose their position because they've done a poor job with the COVID virus or maintaining the status of the economy. So there'll be measures for the most part to mitigate a massive amount of, I'm talking in the millions of evictions and foreclosures. There'll be some type of something. They'll come up with something. However, for the people who are upper middle class, well, there's not going to be a safety net for them for the most part. Yeah, they might not get kicked out of their homes like the poor people, lower class people, but they're gonna go from the upper middle class down to low income. When you have a business that makes 10% of what it used to make, the person that my client said, hey, I'm going to be closed pretty soon. I'm not going to be able to function. There's no way. I mean, he's trying to get a loan, but pretty hard to get a loan when your business is not making any money, especially now. And the other person, well, his business was directly affected by the COVID virus. So he is waiting. And eventually that's going to go by the wayside because you just can't wait forever. So, people talk about the rich and the rich, but the rich could be poor. It's a lot easier going down than it is to go up. And I'm seeing this firsthand. Unfortunately, I've never been rich or even upper middle class. So my fall wouldn't be that drastic because I'm on the second level. So I'm just trying to talk about this, and I'm also trying to say, hey, this is when you have to put your faith in God. Put your faith in God. Let Him get the worries. Give Him the worries. You do your part. What's your part? Praying the rosary, following God's ways, being holier, divine. Clean that house up. Clean that house up. And prepare. Prepare mentally, physically. Physically, you have to prepare, because the omelet is gonna flip, and people who have a foundation in God are not going to move as easily as people who do not have foundations with the Almighty. It's like the three little pigs, where the wolf blew down the house of straw, and then they got smart and they built the house of brick, and that wolf huffed and puffed but never blew that house down. So build yourself a brick house, and what I mean by that is getting closer to God. God is the foundation, and we're all high and mighty when things are going great, money's flowing, and you're on top of the world, and you're the big shot, right? But when that omelet flips, and you're not, you're the big shot of a bankrupt house or a company, or you're a big shot of a foreclosed house. So yeah, I have a 8-bedroom, 6-bath house, $2.4 million. Yeah, and then when the sheriff comes knocking on your door, you got to get out. Well, you're not so much of a big shot anymore. So then, where do you turn to? Who do you turn to? Right? Because you were the guy. You were the Almighty. So humble yourself. Humble yourselves. Get with God. These are the times where people are going to have to find an alternative solution, to an alternative solution. I've been with that solution for over 5-6 years now. So my fall, it's not going to be that big. Hey, you want to take my house? You want to take my apartment? You want to take my car? You want to take it? Hey, when Jesus sent out the disciples 2 by 2, He barely gave them anything. If you had 2 jackets, He said, take off 1 jacket and give it away. Just go with what you have. Now, Jesus could have loaded them up. He fed over 5,000 people, right, with 5 loaves and 2 fish. He could have loaded up each and every disciple. But He said, no, just go and preach the word. And God will take care of you. The Father will take care of you. Don't worry about it. And that's how we have to think about these things. These material possessions can come and go. But where's your faith? You need to put your faith in the Lord. Put your faith with God the Father. And then as the winds blow, the hurricanes blow, the tornadoes come through, the tsunamis come through, hey, you got a foundation in God. He ain't going anywhere. And He'll protect you. So, that's the message of the day. Hope you appreciate it. And as always, God bless.